The world of mixed martial arts, MMA, has seen its fair share of intense fighters and colorful personalities. But few names have ever been as controversial or as notorious as War Machine.
Moving his feet. Oh, 1-2 down the middle. Right hand. Move fighter.
Jonathan Paul Koppenhaver. War Machine's life has been a roller coaster of raw talent, squandered potential, and a trail of criminal behavior that ultimately derailed his career. He is often remembered not for his skills in the cage, but for his tumultuous personal life and the shocking crimes that landed him in prison. This story is not just about an MMA fighter. It's a cautionary tale of how unchecked aggression, trauma, and poor decisions can lead to unimaginable consequences. The rise of War Machine. Born on November 30, 1981, in Simi Valley, California, Koppenhaver had a troubled upbringing. His childhood was marked by dysfunction, emotional neglect, and the untimely death of his father when he was just 13 years old. As a young boy, he gravitated toward violence, often fighting with others as a way to channel his anger and frustration. This troubled background later shaped both his career and the destructive path he would follow.
And where was he striking you?
In the face.
With what?
With his knuckles, closed fist. And I started to cover my face as fast as possible and get my hands up, but they were still slipping in. So as he's coming down, then he bit me here in the cheek.
Despite his troubled youth, Koppenhaver had an undeniable talent for fighting. After dropping out of college where he studied biology, he decided to pursue a career in mixed martial arts. Training at the world-renowned Team Quest gym, he quickly developed a reputation for his aggressive fighting style and fearless approach.
Stands up. Now he's returning the favor. He does. J-Rock on his back.
John Koppenhaver received the nickname War Machine.
War Machine made his professional MMA debut in 2004 and quickly gained attention for his raw power and relentless attacks. He fought in various promotions, but it wasn't until his time on The Ultimate Fighter.
But he is hammering away from the bottom position. And now here comes Koppenhaver again.
Man, that cut is really bleeding now.
Now remember,
Rollins squinting there. He can't see.
Remember, it was Koppenhaver who was cut badly during the show. What a good round one.
Team Hughes versus Team Sarah in 2007 that he started to gain widespread recognition. Although he didn't win the competition, his performance in the house and the octagon hinted at a promising career ahead. War Machine's biggest victory came in 2007 at UFC 84, where he defeated Jared Rollins in what was later awarded the Fight of the Night bonus. The fight showcased his durability and tenacity as he weathered heavy blows before mounting an incredible comeback to secure a technical knockout in the third round.
Got him.
Joe, I know I've said it before, but
he switches.
look at that.
And he's mounted. J-Rock's in big trouble. War Machine
This moment should have been the springboard for a successful UFC career, but instead, it marked the beginning of his downward spiral. The beginning of the downfall. War Machine was never just a fighter. He was a volatile individual whose anger often got the best of him. Behind the scenes, he had a history of explosive behavior that frequently landed him in trouble. After his victory over Jared Rollins, he was released from the UFC, not for his performance in the octagon, but for comments he made about the death of UFC fighter Evan Tanner. This lack of discipline and inability to control his words hinted at deeper issues. Over the years, War Machine's MMA career became overshadowed by his behavior outside the cage. He was arrested multiple times for incidents ranging from bar fights to assaults. Each arrest painted a clearer picture of a man who was spiraling out of control. While his aggression in the octagon was an asset, that same aggression became his downfall in everyday life. After leaving the UFC, War Machine fought for various smaller promotions, including Bellator and XC. Despite his skill, his inability to maintain professionalism and discipline meant he never reached the heights that his talent deserved. The relationship that changed everything. In 2013, War Machine began dating Christy Mack, a popular adult film actress. Their relationship was initially publicized as a passionate romance, but it soon became evident that it was anything but healthy. Behind closed doors, the relationship was marked by manipulation, control, and violence. Christy Mack later revealed the extent of the abuse she endured during their time together, describing numerous instances of physical and emotional violence. However, the darkest chapter of their relationship occurred in August 2014, when War Machine attacked Christy Mack and her friend, Corey Thomas, in her Las Vegas home. The details of the assault were chilling. War Machine reportedly broke into Mack's home and brutally assaulted both her and Thomas.
Eventually he just stopped. He let him go. He stopped. It looked like they were both just tired. It was one of my kitchen set knives. It was a black handle with silver rivets. And he would push it into my ear. He would push it into my hand. He sawed off my hair. He cut up all of my wigs because he always hated my wigs.
Corey Thomas was beaten and choked before being allowed to leave, but Mack was not so fortunate. She suffered a fractured rib, missing teeth, and a ruptured liver, among other injuries. The attack lasted for hours, with War Machine threatening to kill her multiple times. Christy Mack only survived by escaping when he briefly left the room to search for a knife.
And Corey's just laying down, and John just starts hitting him. Eventually they start rolling around and fall to the floor, and I call 911. And so I set the phone down so they could hear everything.
Why did you set it down though?
I didn't want John to see me with the phone.
Why?
As I knew he would hurt me.
The legal fallout. The attack on Christy Mack was a turning point in War Machine's life. After fleeing the scene, he became the subject of a nationwide manhunt. Authorities finally apprehended him in California, and he was charged with 36 felony counts, including attempted murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. During his trial, War Machine showed little remorse, often blaming his actions on his upbringing, mental health issues, and even Christy Mack herself. His defense team argued that his troubled childhood and career in combat sports had warped his sense of reality, but the jury was not convinced.
A judge has refused to dismiss charges today against former MMA fighter Jonathan Copenhaver. He's accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend, Christy Mack. His attorney claims the evidence doesn't support 4 of the 34 felony charges he's facing, but the judge disagreed.
In 2017, War Machine was convicted on 29 of the 36 charges against him and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 36 years. For a man who was once seen as a rising star in MMA, his fall from grace was both tragic and shocking. The psychological profile. What makes War Machine's story so unique is not just his crimes, but the psychological factors that contributed to them. Many experts have suggested that his violent behavior was exacerbated by chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a degenerative brain disease caused by repeated head trauma. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy has been linked to mood swings, aggression, and impaired judgment, symptoms that War Machine displayed throughout his career and personal life. In addition to potential brain damage, War Machine also struggled with untreated mental health issues. His explosive anger, inability to form healthy relationships, and lack of impulse control suggest deeper psychological problems that were never properly addressed.
Since last night, I want a Slurpee. I want a fucking Slurpee. So I'm driving to go see fucking Christy, and I see 7-Eleven, and I'm filling out my fucking cup, and the fucking bitch who fucking works there fucking tells me that I need to take off my fucking hoodie on my head.
The legacy of War Machine. War Machine's story is a cautionary tale for both fighters and fans of combat sports. It highlights the importance of mental health support for athletes, especially those in high-contact sports like MMA. The intense physical and psychological demands of the sport can push fighters to their limits, and without proper support, those limits can lead to disastrous consequences. For Christy Mack, the attack left scars that extend far beyond the physical. Despite everything she endured, she has emerged as a survivor and an advocate for victims of domestic violence. Her courage in speaking out against War Machine's abuse has inspired countless others to share their stories and seek help. As for War Machine, his life behind bars is a stark reminder of what could have been. He was a talented fighter with the potential to be a UFC star, but his inability to control his anger and his destructive behavior ultimately ruined his career and his life. Final thoughts. The story of War Machine is not an easy one to tell, nor is it one that can be easily forgotten. It's a story of wasted potential, unchecked aggression, and the devastating consequences of poor decisions. While his actions were reprehensible, they also serve as a reminder of the importance of addressing mental health issues and providing support for those who need it. If there's one lesson to take from this tragic tale, it's that talent alone is never enough. Without discipline, self-control, and the willingness to seek help, even the brightest stars can fall. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like it and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories like this one. Your support helps us bring you content that informs, inspires, and provokes meaningful conversations.